Hey, my phone is being a pain in the rear end. I did another video, but it cut me out, and I need to get my laptop up and going so I can have more. I can do the whole video and not have to do it in pieces. But, you know, after my stepdad went to prison and everything, well, you know, I wound up signing out of school. Mom signed me out because, the business we had going. We had a janitor business going on. I got tired of taking care of the family, trying to keep my mom up, take care of my brother, take care of my sister. I got really fed up because, here I am, a teenager, wanted to be, a teenager, wanted to do what teenagers do. Since I didn't have a childhood. So I wound up, moving out to a guy across the street. Was that a bad mistake? He was abusive. He said things, did things, I started fighting back because I got tired of it. Wound up getting 10 years probation for something that we actually did. He got 5 years and 30 days in jail. I got 10 years probation. The situation that we went through should not have been that much, but it was, the lawyers that we have got, and plus, anyway, the system's corrupted. It is what it is. And a lot happened in between this time. I don't remember a lot because of the injuries that I had through a wreck, I don't remember everything. There's a lot of things that happened. I remember, I'll start remembering things, and I'm like, I'll recognize it. I'm like, oh my goodness, that happened. One of the things that stick out really good, is, between I was 17 and until I met my first husband, I had been dating a lot of the guys and stuff, and they were abusive. The one that I showed with you in my other video, he was on drugs, on meth, which I was hanging out with the friends, smoking pot, getting drunk, doing all those things. At that time I wasn't doing meth, but he suspected that I was doing it, and I tried to run away from him one night. The night that he thought I was doing it, I did not take the meth that was in the bathroom waiting for him. Somebody took it. I don't know who took it. But so I went and said I took it. I was so scared of him that my adrenaline was so high that it obviously, apparently, it made me look like that I was on meth. And so, well, going down the road, he did something to me before we got in the car. He did something to me. I was on the ground. Nobody would help me. His family apparently, oh well, it is what it is. I was going down the road. I jumped out of the car and winded up in the ditch. He stops the car, gets me, get back in the car. I didn't get hurt. But anyway, get to the house, and I get out of the vehicle, and I went to take off running. Well, that didn't work. He grabbed me up, had me in a chokehold, got me into the house, told me, let's go to bed. I went to bed. He's like, why don't you go to sleep? Why don't you go to sleep? And I was like, because you're staring at me. Anyway, there was and it's kind of bits and pieces, but anyway, he was living in apartments, and the next day, the next day he was getting off parole. I don't remember what he was on parole, why he went to prison, and never asked. I was not in that state of mind, didn't really care. It was all about, getting high and drinking. Anyway, he tried to smother me one night. We was fighting, arguing. He had me down on the bed, had a pillow over my head, trying to suffocate me. And I don't know how I got away from him. Because he's like 2 times bigger than me. But I know that God was there, because otherwise I wouldn't have been able to do it. All the guys I've dated throughout my life are abusive. Things that happened to me in my childhood, I started taking it out on men. Not all of them are abusive, but I became the abuser. I started abusing them. And the only time I would do that is when I was drinking. So I would drink, and I would actually beat them up. I don't know how I did it. I really don't know how I did it, but I was going at them, hurting people. Yeah, of course they went back at me with a punch or two, but it didn't stop me. I had a gal friend. Instead of us going to jail, we would, we would fight each other, and she would kick my butt. But we didn't throw either. We wouldn't do that. But the point is, I was in and out of church throughout some of this. And my point is, I thought that I had to be a good person. I mean, of course, I wasn't being a very good person at all through this, But when I finally got out of, drinking and, well, I was not all the way out of doing all that. Just going to church, in and out of going to church, and I had this, I thought I was saved and I wasn't saved. I don't know how many times that I thought I got saved. I don't know how many times I got baptized once, got saved in jail. I don't know how many times I got saved outside of that. Mind you, I never did get saved, but I didn't know the truth. I thought that I had to be this good person. I had to do all these good things so the rest was going to hell. When I did get, I thought I got saved, it was to forgive me of my past sins and the rest I had to deal with, and be this good person and do all the things I'm supposed to be doing, and then, and I was doing a lot of good things. I was doing all these good things, but, it came time to, just kept on, Lord, please forgive me for this. I was going around, like, asking forgiveness. Everything I was doing, I mean, it was just a horrible thing, just all the time, all day long for I don't know how long. And just like 2 years ago, I finally just gave up one night. I said, you know what? If I go to hell, I go to hell. I can't do this anymore. I'm fast forwarding this because my phone is being a pain in the rear end. But if I remember anything else, I will I will make another video. But like 2 years ago, I think it was like the next day, God led me to Renee Rowan's channel. And talking about a big relief. I had no idea that Jesus had already done everything on the cross at Calvary. I didn't know. I thought that I had to keep the 10 Commandments. I thought that I had to quit sinning to go to heaven. And you know what? I was so wrong. And and the time that was going on until now, just like a few months ago, it took me a long time to trust Jesus. So I was so used to the, self-righteous and the legalistic way, how you gotta live and what you gotta do to, to make it to heaven. It took me a long time to get out of that. Alright, I'm just going to cut this short. I do have blackouts. I'm be talking and I quit, and I'm talking and I quit. So, but I love you and I thank you for listening to me. God bless.